So welcome to the DaltonCast. This is episode number 1. It is Sunday, March 26th, the year 2023. And to give you an idea what this is going to be, think of this as just a podcast where I do a bunch of talking about what happened during my week, because I want to be able to share with you that might already be in this field of work or not, just to know what it's like to be a developer. Now, before I get into going into what happened during the week, let me first start off by saying that for a month and a half now, I've been putting content out on the internet, particularly Twitter and YouTube. And let me just say the responses I have gotten from people, the likes, the comments, and everything, it's a humbling thing. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first started putting out content, I was like, nobody's gonna read it, nobody's gonna listen to it, and you sort of have this imposter syndrome thing you got to work your way through. But the people have responded. I think my Twitter count followers has more than doubled. I started a YouTube channel that now has nearly 225 people. It's only got 5 videos, and I just put up my blog. I have readers in 56 different countries. And so, just from the bottom of my heart, just this thank you all. But let's let this podcast kind of be something where it's a little bit laid back. I'll be just my typical goofy, corny self. And so, with that said, let's just kick this thing off. So, I am a VP of engineering for a compounding pharmacy that's located in Florida. Now, I live in Texas, so obviously I work remotely. And I've been with this company for 4 years. Well, the family that owns the telemedicine company also owns the family that owns the pharmacy also owns a telehealth company where they market and sell drugs that are like for weight loss, sexual health, things of that nature. And so my friend, my ride or die, Mario, he's been over this team of developers, but he's also been one of the pivotal pieces when it comes to marketing for that company. And so he's been kind of getting into doing more marketing. Well, that kind of leaves a void over the team because they need somebody to come in and kind of manage the team. And so they brought me in from the pharmacy side to work on this. So I'm kind of working for both companies, but it is what it is. And of course, I'm coming into a code base that, I've not really contributed to. I'm working with a couple of developers who I don't really get to talk to all that much because obviously I worked for the pharmacy. Of course, we had some stressful things that we had to work our way through. We had some bugs. And as a developer, listen, bugs is part of your life as a developer. Well, these bugs that was going on was it was preventing certain people from enrolling in some weight loss programs. We had one bug that was preventing the cancellation of certain prescriptions because, their system, they have a doctor network that approves stuff, and they put a prescription that goes to the pharmacy, right? And the pharmacy fulfills it. Gives you an idea. But there were sections of there where some people couldn't cancel certain refills. And then the other thing was when it came to doing refunds, sometimes refunds would work, sometimes they would not. And as you can imagine, we have this conundrum. Oh, and on top of that, some people could or could not, I should say, add or update payment methods. So as you can imagine, we got some bugs. Boy, did I step into this! Oh. So Monday we had the meeting. We sat down with the team, and no, the team there. It's not a big team. It's we have 2 gentlemen that are located on the eastern side of the world, and they are our engineering team. It's a couple of really good guys, but as you can imagine, we have these bugs. There's a lot of stress riding on this. Ownership is the owners are wanting to see things fixed and done, and trust me, we all understand the reason why. So Monday we're like, hey, Jordan's going to come in, oversee you guys, and man, when I know I chuckled earlier when I said, boy, did I step in it. Woo! Boy, did I step in it. Let me tell you, uh, Tuesday and Wednesday is probably the most hectic days in my career, and I don't want to maybe. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to make a bombastic statement, but Tuesday and Wednesday were insane days. Uh, Now, no, during this week, now we have fixed pretty much all the bugs. Okay, so just to let you know, there's a good story at the end, but the road to getting there, like programming, A to Z, is paved with turns and hills and breakdowns, and as you can imagine, it's a roller coaster. So what was it? Tuesday, I get up early. I get up typically like 3 a.m. And so I was up and rocking like by what was it, 3:50, and y'all, I was reviewing pull requests, looking at the code, approving those requests, merging them, deploying them. I was going through all their task lists, getting an idea for what's been assigned to them, the priority of the work done, what are they currently working on, what is the status of that progress, when do they think it's going to get done, while still having to manage my role at the pharmacy. So as you can imagine, I'm on Zooms with these people, and I'd be on a Zoom, and somebody would literally call me on my phone. Hey, Jordan, I need your help with the compounder, this and that. And I'm literally having two conversations at the same time, simultaneously. And I'm trying to solve their problem while also trying to get my team through their things. And it was bananas. I worked like 13 and a half hours that day. And when I was done, I felt like I thought I'd been hit like by a Mack truck. But you know what? I did it. Now, will all the days be like this? No, they won't. I mean, things will eventually calm down. We'll get into our own little rhythm of things. But, speaking about the pharmacy, we had our own stuff that we're kind of going through. We've had some people who's voluntarily left the company, and so there's people that are having to learn other people's jobs, and they're using portions of the software that I built, but they've never seen it before, but they're trying to wing it, and you see they're running into problems. So as you can imagine, like I'm having these simultaneous phone calls all day, and geez, like now that night I slept so good. I slept in the next day because I'm like, I'm not gonna get up early again. But the thing is then Wednesday was just as busy, but not as busy. On Wednesday, in the week, I was finally able to write code. Because those first 2 days, I didn't really get to write much code. But I worked my way through it. By the time Friday came, things had calmed down. We got a lot of work done. A lot of PRs got closed. And the thing is, sometimes with teams, when you're the one overseeing the team, you got to stay on top of people. And it's not to say that they're not capable of the work. We're not saying that they're incompetent. We're not saying they're sandbagging or anything like that. But when you are in a situation where you have multiple bugs that you have to solve, and you have a team that you got to manage, I don't want to call it a gentle push, but you have to keep the people progressing. And trust me, I would hate to be pushed, and just told like we got to get this done. But the upside is, most of us as engineers, we typically have managers who cannot be involved with the code. They are either not qualified or they just simply they don't have the experience. But in the case of this team, I can code, and so I got in there and I was able to solve some bugs. Now the question is well, how did these bugs come to be? Because when you look at the code, nothing had really changed. Like seriously, we're talking like nothing really changed over months. But before I came in, they did this upgrade to Laravel. I think it was Laravel 9, which I guess I don't know what happened in the upgrade, but something happened. We don't know where or what, but like we had a lot of issues with Livewire and the way that Livewire worked with non-Livewire components, and it's there's so much logic. So much logic, because this code base is like 6 years old, which, let me tell you, for a code base, that's old. Like, that's dinosaur. So we've been talking about doing a rebuild. So that way you can clean up all the stuff that you've had to throw into code, and all that scope creep, year after year, problem after problem. So, resolving a regulation after regulation. It's just, things just grow, and they get big, and they get crazy. They do. And as engineers, we want to make like clean, concise, scalable. We want to make perfect code. And unfortunately, in our industry, it doesn't matter how great the code is. If the code it's got all test-driven, developed, everything's got it's got test coverage for it. Just because it doesn't mean you can charge more money for it. The customers don't care. All they care about is that it works. They don't care about your deployment process. They don't care about your design practices. They don't care about you doing laracons. They don't. What matters at the end of the day is that it makes money and that it works. As cold as that statement might be, that's the truth. And you have to realize as a developer that you will have to make decisions where you might have to, for lack of a better term, cut corners to get a problem solved, just so that it can be solved and money can still be made. And when you find yourself in these situations, and you will find yourself in these situations probably a lot, but you got to realize that that's a decision that they made. You just have to solve the problem they give you. And you just got to figure out your way to work through it and move on. But by Friday, things had chilled out. By Friday, I already had like 40 hours on the week. Like, I'm just tired. Like, I'm tired right now. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start putting out these videos. Well, not a video. This is just going to be audio. But I want to start putting this stuff out. So I already talked about Twitter, or talked about YouTube, talked about the blog. Now, obviously, today is Sunday. And so I went on Twitter today, and I put out a tweet basically talking about that I want to find 10 Laravel developers who want premium mentorship. Now, note the key word in here is premium, meaning you got to pay for it. And this is a hard thing for me, because like I wish I could do everything for free. I wish I could just have all the conversations in the world, that I could talk to people, do as many Zoom calls as I can, help them with code, help them with problems, help them with their careers. Like I wish I could do all that at no cost. I really wish I could, but I can't. And that's a hard one for me. I have come to know so many people over the past 90, we'll call it 90, what would that be, 50 days, 60 days roughly, that, like, I love who I'm encountering. I love that I can get on a screen share, and we can actually get into code, and I can show them, say, hey, well, if you write it this way, you can make your methods thinner, you can make them more testable, it looks great, it's professional, it can scale, and something to that you could like really love. But then you find out, well, unfortunately, time is worth money. And so I've had to put a price on my time. And of course, I've discounted it, because I'm not trying to take money from people. That's not what it is. But I also have to acknowledge that I do have to charge something for my time, because if you could imagine, like, I'm married, I have 4 children, like, my oldest will be 17 years old, about to go to college. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in my life, and I just can't sit there and say I can't just give away the time for free anymore. Now, there are some people that I do find myself at least once every other week having like an hour call with them to help them. There's people who live in parts of this world where there's countries that are not known for prosperity or any sort of wealth, where everybody's struggling. There's a lot of poverty, And when I meet people that are in these situations, I want to help them. I do. I got this one gentleman named Gul. He lives in Pakistan, and what a beautiful soul. Just so humble, so thankful. He's wanting to learn, and I you cannot help but love people like that. And so it's a tough one. But I've had I've had like nearly 40 people respond to that tweet and send me DMs. But I do want to build a mentorship program. Now I have to get sort of creative in how to come out with a program that people can learn, and we can sort of scale it a little bit to where we can get more people in. But we have to figure out the time element, like the one-on-one time element. I'm going to start. Well, I'm actually already working on this, but I'm working on a course that can teach people Laravel. But now this course comes in 3 different sort of versions. You have the beginner, you have the intermediate, and then you have like the advanced version, because everybody's in a different stage in their Laravel development career. And so I need to be able to have courses that are catered to people at those different points. And I already got one gentleman who wants to do more than just 1 hour. He wants to actually do 4 hours a month. And so that's just sort of the reason why I limited it to 10 people, because let's be real here, we got to figure out, we got to make schedules work, right? Then if we have people that are in the mentorship program that they need more mentorship and they want to do more hours, we got to be able to figure out a way to make that work. Now, will I eventually have to have the system evolve to where we have more mentors? Absolutely. But the thing is, I want to focus on the Laravel community. As y'all already know, it's a fantastic community. A lot of smart, brilliant, talented people. I love it. It's one that, aside from documentation of code, the community in Laravel is one of its greatest assets. And as you can imagine, the better the environment, the better you'll have an opportunity for success. And it's something funny I haven't seen. So the gentleman that wanted to do 4 hours, so I sent him a thing on my my Google Calendar to schedule a meeting. Well, my wife had my wife about a year ago went into my phone and she changed my name on my phone. So it doesn't say Jordan Dalton. It says Amber's bitch. So this guy, he gets the meeting request. It says it's from Amber's bitch. So I told him, yeah, my wife, she changed my name on my phone, and he did the laughing out loud or whatever emoji, and he's like, she's a keeper, and yes, she without a doubt is a keeper. When I got home, I was like, hey, love, so when I went to set this thing up, they sort of saw the name on my phone, and I sort of had to explain. Of course, she's dying laughing. She's like, you should change that. I go, oh no, I did. I definitely did, because could you imagine if you got like 10 people, scheduled, and they're all getting this thing? They're like, who the heck? Who is this guy? Amber's bitch, Dalton. And so then I had to drive to Arlington because my daughter has a special prescription that I can't get done here in Burleson. I had to drive there and get to it. Of course, got to talk to my mother and everything on the phone. If you're a comedy fan, I know this is like going off the track here, but Bert Kreischer had his comedy special come out just the other day. It was really funny. I'm a big comedy guy. Like when I work during the day, I stream Kill Tony, which is a podcast down in Austin, where comedians get 1 minute of stage time, and it's hysterical. But if you're a comedy fan, check out that. Big J. Okerson's put some stuff out, but I just love comedy. I'm a big also fan of the UFC, the main card last night. didn't go the way I was wanting. But what's his name? I'm blanking on names right now. Anyhow, the guy that was Marlon Chito Vera didn't win, so I'm a little bummed. But I think with that said, this probably gives us a good amount of information, at least for the podcast. I'm going to do one of these each Sunday. Be sure to leave comments. Talk about things you'd like for me to talk about. Because note, I can talk and ramble for a long time. But let's try to make this fun. Like I said, something I do every week, and we'll let this evolve and see what it can become. Hopefully, I can start getting people to be guests on here. I want to talk to anybody and everybody. And so let's see what we can do here to make this fun, a weekly thing. Let's make it big. But with that, I'm Jordan Dalton, and once again, thank you for taking time to listen to the podcast. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Jordan K. Dalton. You can follow me on YouTube at DaltonCast, or you can check out my blog, which is on jordandalton.com. Until next time, take care, everybody.